Namaste, everybody. Welcome to this special program, the Vedanta Society of New York guest speaker series. We are really very honored and blessed to have revered Swami Chetanananda Maharaj to inaugurate this series. He is the first speaker in this series. Most of you know Maharaj, but still a formality. It's my pleasure to introduce revered Maharaj. He is the minister of the Vedanta Society of St. Louis and Kansas City, Missouri. From his childhood itself, he was associated with the Ramakrishna order. And in 1960, he became a monk. He is initiated by revered Swami Shankaranandaji Maharaj, the seventh president of the Ramakrishna order. He was in Advaita Ashram, our publication, English publication branch in Mayavati and its branch in Calcutta. He was sent to the United States in 1971. The first time I visited St. Louis Ashram, Maharaj asked me that, when were you born? And I said 1971. And he laughed and he said, that's the year I came to the United States. So that's how I know Maharaj has been here for almost 50 years now. Very long time. Maharaj is, of course, best known for his tremendous work in the field of Ramakrishna Vivekananda and Vedanta literature. His books, so numerous, too numerous to mention, but some of them are so popular, we all use them. God lived with them, a wonderful collection of the lives and teachings of the direct disciples, monastic disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. They lived with God, a similar collection for the householder disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. One must mention, of course, Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play. This is Sri Ramakrishna Lila Prashango. I think it will not be too far to say that Maharaj really rescued that book as far as the English knowing public is concerned, because the first translation, though wonderful, was a little archaic and difficult. Jagadananda Maharaj's translation into English. So it was not being read really by the English knowing public. So Maharaj is very lucid and wonderful translation. Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play received with great happiness, not only here in the West, but in India also. Similarly, his recent work on the Holy Mother, Sri Sharada Devi and her divine play, the voluminous and comprehensive work on the Divine Mother. And we know of his beautiful collection. Maharaj is also an authority not only on the literature of the Ramakrishna Vivekananda, literature, but also the pictures. I know that the ashrams, both in the order and the private ashrams run by devotees, they regularly consult Maharaj on the best pictures to be installed in the shrine. So the choicest pictures Maharaj has published in his collection of pictures of Sri Ramakrishna, collection of pictures of Holy Mother, and an excellent collection, Vivekananda East Meets West, which is a book which is often gifted to different libraries, to dignitaries, an excellent collection which introduces you to Vivekananda through pictures, both life and his work. Besides that, among the numerous other works, I must mention two books which we were, as novices, as monastic novices, we were told by senior monks to read as a guide for our spiritual life, practical guide for our spiritual life. One is the teachings of Swami Brahmananda, and the other one is Turiyananda Patravali, the letters of Swami Turiyananda. Thanks to revered Maharaj, both are available to the English knowing public in beautiful translations, spiritual treasures. Both Bengali and English letters of Swami Turiyananda have been collected in that, and of course, the teachings of Swami Brahmananda. And there are so many other books. And his Bengali works, again, a huge collection. I will not go into that at all. But today's subject is something different. Revered Maharaj first came here. He went to the Vedanta Society of Southern California as assistant minister. He was assistant, very beloved assistant to Swami Prabhavanandaji Maharaj in the early 70s. And then he went to St. Louis as assistant to Swami Shatprakashanandaji. Besides that, he has come into contact with numerous other senior monks who worked here in the West, including here at the Vedanta Society of New York, Swami Pavitranandaji, and of course, Swami Tathagatanandaji. So it was our humble request to revered Maharaj to share his precious memories of his associations, anecdotes about these wonderful spiritual masters and their teachings. Not only the monks here in the West, but also Maharaj has an extensive collection of wonderful reminiscences and recollections of great spiritual teachers, monks in India, some of the disciples of the Holy Mother, and many other senior monks. So we request revered Maharaj, we offer our pranams to him and request him to tell us, share something from his most precious bundle of memories. Maharaj.
Bandau Santa Santana Charana Dukha Pradau Bhayo Bicha Kuchuvarna Vichurya Eko Pran Horilai Milato Eko Darna Dukadei Tulsidas. I bow down to the holy and the unholy because both give me pain. When a holy person departs from me, I get pain. And when an unholy person comes to me, I get pain. So I salute both. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, 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 control. Thank you, Brother Sarva Priyananda, to invite me to give a talk of my reminiscences of the Swamis, old Swamis of the Ramakrishna Order. It is true, I am very fortunate that I got an opportunity to meet some great monks of the Ramakrishna Order from 1950. I was 14 years old. I used to go to Udbodhan Mother's house, met many disciples of Holy Mother, Swamiji, Brahmananda, Shivananda, Sharadananda. Sometimes I say that everything not in the books, some we learn from the oral tradition. A few years ago, a thought came to my mind that I am getting old. I am now 85. That if I die, all these treasures will be lost. So I started to collect from my diaries. I have, behind me, there are many diaries are there of the dead monks. I thought these things will be lost. So I worked on 2 volumes, Prachin Sadhudev Katha, 2 volumes, over 1,000 pages materials are published in Bengali. Now they will be published in English also. So from those 2 volumes, I want to share something to you, with you, just some highlights I shall give to you. Let me tell you one thing. The spiritual tradition of Sri Ramakrishna is very pure. No commercialism, no politics, no power struggle, nothing. So Sri Ramakrishna is our origin. Next, first generation, Sri Ramakrishna's disciples. How Sri Ramakrishna trained them. They are not ordinary human beings. They are Ishwar Kuchis, Nitya Siddha. They are very advanced, illumined souls. So we did not see Ramakrishna, we did not see Jari disciple, but we met the disciples of the Jari disciples. We listened, we heard from them the fire of the spirituality of the Jari disciples. That I wanted to collect. That we will find in these 2 volumes. Anyhow, that is the reason with these books. And in India also, many people are reading these books. I get many letters. We must learn. Sri Ramakrishna says, as long as I live, so long do I learn. There are 2 types of gurus. Diksha Guru, the guru who gives you initiation. Follow his instruction implicitly. Then Shiksha Guru. Abhidut had 24 gurus as we study in the Bhagavatam. We learned from each one of them. Shiksha Guru. Remember that from your kindergarten up to your university, how many hundreds and hundreds of teachers you had. You learned from each one of them. That was in my mind. I must learn. So whenever I went to India, I used to go with a tape recorder and I used to collect, I used to interview them. And this is the way I collected a lot of materials that I wanted to share with you. First, I want to tell one incident of my guru, Swami Shankaranandaji, when I was initiated, which was in 1961. After initiation, I asked Maharaj, please give us some advice. He was just like a roaring lion. Kevol Upadesh, only advice. Kevol Upadesh. Kevu palon kare na. Nobody practices the advice and only ask Upadesh, Upadesh. Read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna answered all of our questions. If Ramakrishna's answers cannot satisfy you, my answers will not satisfy you either. Go. I got a great lesson. Thakur, that Kathamrita, Gospel, is the unique book in the religious literature of the world. Nowhere we find that Avatar's words have been recorded so faithfully, beautifully, picturesquely. Amazing. Anyhow, as Sarva Priyananda mentioned, that I came to New York 8th June 1971. I wanted to stay with Swami Pavitranandaji. So Eric and Jack, there are two disciples of Maharaj, came to receive me at the airport. Swami Adisharanandaji also came. So because I had correspondence with Pavitranandaji before I came to this country, because I used to do his shopping in Calcutta. I was in Advaita Ashrama. I used to buy shawl for him, and whatever he needed from Calcutta, I used to buy for him. So he knew me, so I came. So I remember the moment I entered the car, Jack was asking me, Swami, what is your first experience in America? I said, Jack, I was a free soul, but now I see I'm bound. What do you mean? Well, at the moment I sat in your car, they put a seatbelt around my waist and around my shoulder. I have never seen seatbelt in my whole life. Anyhow, I stayed with Maharaj for 3 days. Then I still remember it was 10th June, Swami Nikhilanandaji invited me. So I went. Swami, they gave me for lunch. I had lunch with him. So I asked Maharaj, we are very grateful for your contribution to the Ramakrishna order. You translated the Gospel, the Upanishad, Gita. They are unique, beautiful translation. So he was crying. He was telling it is Thakur who did it. And I have a desire, but that will never be fulfilled. Do you know what is my desire? I want to go to Belur Math. And I want to roll in front of the Ramakrishna temple on the dust. That is my desire. But Dorothy and others, his disciples, they will not let me go. Then Uncle Maharaj, will you present me a copy of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna? He said, hey, bring a gospel. The Uncle Maharaj will not give me an autograph. The moment you have come to America, you have become an American. I have that book. Still I carry Maharaj's. But let me finish Swami Nikhilananda here. Then in 1972, in summer, I was in Thousand Island Park for 10 days and I stayed with Swami Nikhilanandaji, Adisharanandaji, Swanandaji also was there. At 4 o'clock, there was a tea in Vivekananda cottage, and then there will be Harati upstairs in Swamiji's room. Adisharanandaji used to play harmonium and you used to sing. And Swamiji would come. At that time, his memory was failing. So his two attendants would carry him to the upstairs, and there was a chair next to Swamiji's statue. And Swami Nikhilananda would sit there, and in rosary in his hand. They used to. So we finished after 1 hour. When we would come out, I cannot be, I can visualize tears coming from his eyes, and his mantra was continuously going on. You know, these scenes have a deep impression in my mind. Here is a mother's disciple. His memory is not working, but his japam, that thing is working. We call it badite anuvritti, which is a repetition in Vedanta, you know. After illumination, what happens? The same thing continues. That really impressed me, I tell you frankly. And of course, we used to chat after dinner table. We used to talk. Maharaj loved to talk. And as you know, the next year in 1973, at the dining table in Thousand Jalan Park, in the evening dinner, he started. I was not there. I heard from Swami Adisharanandaji that they started Om Brahma Pranam Brahma. The moment he said Brahma Karma Samadhina, he collapsed on the chair. That is the way he died. That was some of my memories of Swami Nikhilanandaji. Then about Swami Pavitranandaji. Pavitranandaji was our guest every summer. He used to come to St. Louis in the last part of June, and before Labor Day weekend, he would return to New York. Swami Pavitranandaji and Swami Prabhavanandaji are very close. Swami Pavitranandaji was next to my room. When he would come, that room belonged to Swami Ashoktanandaji, and next room is mine. But we have a common bathroom. But when Maharaj would come, we would not use his bathroom. Or we would not use that bathroom. That is only for Maharaj, Pavitranandaji. I used to go to Swami Krishnananda's bathroom. We used to share. So anyhow, Maharaj would take lunch with the convent, but dinner with us. And at night, after supper, I used to go to his room, and he used to tell me many, many stories. A few I shall tell you. One day he cautioned me. He said, when you lecture, never embellish, never exaggerate. And sometimes we talk about superlative degree, the greatest, but never do those things. Do you know why? Then you will deviate from the truth. He was a very truthful person. He would hold the truth. I still remember. Never embellish, never exaggerate. Then you will deviate from the truth. Present the fact as it is. Then one day he was telling me, you know, when I joined, I went to some Sharadananda, and I asked Maharaj, I am working in the ashrama, I don't feel that it is Thakur's work. Sharadananda said, is it your work? No, Maharaj. Do you work for your parents or family? No, Maharaj. Do you get any salary here? No, Maharaj. All right. So these three you are sure? Well, yes. Now you can go. Later you will understand for him, for whom you work. Well, I got a great lesson. Then he used to tell that, you know, sometimes I used to argue. He was a school teacher before he joined. Well, I used to argue. And I was very close to Swami Turiyananda also. As you know, Maharaj was a disciple of Swami Brahmananda. But he never wrote his reminiscences about Maharaj. He was very reticent about talking about Maharaj. Sometimes I saw about Maharaj, you know, he would become very emotional. And sometimes tears would come from his eyes when we mention about Maharaj. What happened that about Maharaj? he was, now that's the story of Swami Chetanananda. He was the president of Advaita Ashrama, and he would very close to other Swamis also, especially Swami Vishuddhananda. Some stories he used to tell us that, you know, the spiritual people, some like Swami Vishuddhananda, who had direct experience, mother disciple, that I was reading today, that he used to recite, tell us many of the stories that are really fascinating. And one, I still remember some of the stories. Oh, I was talking with Hori Maharaj's one. He said, I have 13 or 14 letters of Swami Pavitrananda. No, Swami, Swami Turiyananda. Then I said, Maharaj, you are in Hollywood, in our center. I said, Maharaj, those letters should be in public domain. Please print them. No, no, no. That is my personal letter. I said, no, Maharaj, you must print them. You must publish it. You must give to Swami Vishwasrananda or Nandi Maharaj. He was then the president of Udbodhan. Maharaj, you please give letter. Oh, I had a fight with him. No, that is my personal letters. Thank you, Maharaj, please give these letters. Then he returned to New York, and he was not well. He had to go to the hospital. He had some kind of prostate problem. So he went to the hospital, and sitting in the hospital, he took, these are all postcards. I don't think whether, I think the same, Tathagata returned to India, to Belur Math archives. So what I did, I xeroxed all those letters and brought to me. And later on I found, then he wrote to me, I'm talking about, it was 1975. 1976, he did not come to Hollywood. He went to Marshfield. And I went there and stayed with him. And I used to have lunch and dinner with him in Marshfield in Boston. He was the guest of Swami Sarvagatananda. So what happened, he wrote to me, listen, I obeyed you. Uncle, how did you obey me, Maharaj? I sent all those letters and now they are coming serial in the Udbodhan magazine. Uncle Maharaj, very good. Now those letters are incorporated in Swami Turiyananda's letters. Latest edition you will see. You will find dear Priyo Bhupen. Bhupen means Swami Pavitrananda. Oh, I insisted. So those letters came. I'm so happy. Maharaj is. And we used to talk, and Maharaj was very fond of me. And sometimes Prabhupada was doing what you were doing in Hollywood. He used to bring many guest swamis. And he used to stay in Malibu Beach. His disciple was Brahmamai. I still remember that 1/3 of the house on the Pacific Ocean, 2/3 on the ground. So Maharaj's room was in the first floor, and Prabhupada in the second floor. And Pavitranandaji, it is hard for him to sleep. The big waves would make noise. So we used to go. And you know, I tell you frankly, those days are so beautiful. This Pavitrananda, Prabhupada, Vividishananda, Swananda, Shraddhananda, they all be together. And they used to talk. They used to talk about olden days and the disciples. If those things are recorded, so many things we could get, you know. So I used to go sometimes and join and listen to them. I have a nature to be as a student. I want to know. So that I remember about Swami Pavitranandaji. And so he told me one thing. One day Swami Turiyanandaji told him, don't fight. You always fight. Do you know what are you doing? You are fighting with your own shadow. But that because touched me. Do you know what? before I met Turiyananda, my inside was burning. Just a tremendous commotion in my inside. He gave the illustration. Well, has you read Macbeth? That how those witches are, they're burning and all those things. Their dialogue. Well, that kind of burning was going inside me. But Swami Turiyananda's instruction calmed my mind. He used to tell many of his stories, very quiet person, very loving, but very straightforward. Very straightforward. He is the only Swami, generally trustees do not come to America. He was a trustee. And he came to America. Sometimes Balloon Math had to get his signature for any kind of change. He says, our trustees are lifelong trustees, Anyhow, that is the few things I tell about Swami Pavitrananda. And Swami Bodhananda ji, I shall tell you a couple of stories I shall never forget. Bodhananda ji was Swamiji's cook. On the 4th of July, Swamiji came from work, had a cup of tea under the mango tree in Balloon Math. He was seated on a bench. And Bodhananda ji was following him. He was going to his room, Swamiji. And the Vesper was going on, old shrine in Balloon Math. He said, it is in your magazine, VEDANTAVedanta, I think 1933 or 34. I sometimes quote that one. You see, he started that magazine, VEDANTAVedanta, I think few years. I got all copies and I bound it here. I preserved. So which happened, Swamiji got second step and looked at Bodhanandaji. Hey, how much money do I have in my wallet? Oh, maybe $4 or $5. 4 or 5 rupees. Listen, I went to a room of a monk the other day. His mosquito curtain is torn. Buy a new mosquito curtain for him. What amazed me that this man is going to die within 2 hours. Within 2 hours, Swami Vivekananda is going to die. But look, this feeling for the monks. Buy mosquito curtain for him. Very little, but it touches me. That how Swami's grace was Swamiji. Amazing. Amazing Swamiji. Swami Bodhanandaji's many stories are there. Let me go to other Swamis. Then I went to Hollywood. Prabhupada was very fond of me. He treated me like his own son. We used to lecture in Hollywood and Santa Barbara, back and forth. And he used to come to the shrine. Early days, 3 times. Hollywood tradition is 7 to 8 morning, 12 to 1 noon, and 6 to 7 evening. 3 times meditation. All monks and nuns must come, and Swami would join. So later on, when he had heart attack, he told me, Chetanananda, I am very depressed. I go, why, Maharaj? Previously I used to go to the shrine 3 times a day, but now I cannot go. Then I said, Maharaj, you met Holy Mother. Swami Brahmananda initiated you. You came in contact, I think, 8 or 9 monastic disciples of Ramakrishna. And their memories are in your mind. You have recollectedness of those Swamis and those lives. Well, yes, yes, they are always in my mind. I tell him, Maharaj, that is higher than japa and meditation. Because that is called Shauja Yoga, natural awareness of spiritual consciousness. That is higher, Maharaj. You will not have to go and shine and repeat your mantra. That is continuously going on inside you. In that connection, I remember a section in the Chandogya Upanishad, Narad Sanat Kumar Sangvada. Sanat Kumar said to Narada, Ahara Shuddhau Satya Shuddhau Dhruva Smriti Smriti Lambe Sarva Granthi Nam Vipra Moksha. Ahara Shuddhau Satya Shuddhi. Ahar means food. Which Arhiyate, Shankara says, which we gather inside, that is ahar. Don't think that we eat only through the mouth. We eat through the mouth, we eat through the eyes, we eat. Eat means gather, collect objects through the ears, nose, skin. So through the 5 organs of knowledge, we constantly collecting materials and feeding the mind. So constantly, if you feed the mind spiritual things, your mind is bound to be spiritual. Ahara Shuddhau, if the mind is pure, no, ahar, if the food is pure, Satya Shuddhi, Satya means mind becomes pure. Satya Shuddhau Dhruva Smritihi, when the mind becomes pure, you have constant recollections of God. Satya Shuddhi Dhruva Smriti, Smriti Lambhe Sarva Granthi Nam Vipra Moksha. When you have that constant recollections of God, Vipra Moksha, you will be liberated. That is a fantastic teaching in the Chandogya Upanishad. Then do you know what Maharaj told me? Chetanananda, dekho, a sadhuru sadhu sanga darkar. Even a monk needs the company of a monks. Dekho, our depressed attitude is gone now. So many things he told me. He was a student in City College, a revolutionary. He told me I had a revolver under my pillow. But I used to go to Swami Chetanananda, Swamiji's disciple. And because he was close friend of Boshishen, they are both from Vishnupur. In Bankura district, most of you know how mother used to go through Vishnupur by train to Jarambaji or Calcutta. So, Chetanananda one day asked me, hello young man, do you know what is the meaning of the word constructive? Well, yes, I know. No, you do not know. Bring the dictionary. Open the dictionary, get the meaning. So I opened the dictionary and got the meaning. So you got the meaning. What is the meaning of the word constructive? Yes, Maharaj. Now open the word destructive. So again I opened the dictionary and got the meaning of destructive. Then Chetanananda told him, young man, now you know what is constructive, what is destructive. Correct? Yes, Maharaj. Henceforth, do everything constructive in your life. That was a great lesson for me. In your life, do everything constructive. This little incident, it gives us deep, penetrating feeling inside. Then he told that I went to Swami Chetanananda in Banaras. Well, Maharaj, will you teach me? As you know, Swami Chetanananda was the Gitokta yogi, Thakur said. But he experimented Gita in his life. We read Gita, but he experimented Gita in his life. So he went, well, Maharaj, will you teach me? Come tomorrow. Went there, read one verse of the Gita, memorize it, get its meaning, then practice it. Until you get perfection in that verse, don't take the next verse. This is my first class, this is my last class. You can go. Many fascinating stories he used to tell me. And his Guru Bhakti. Just before his death, Maharaj, I was present. Five years I lived with him and I learned so many things from him, I cannot tell you. So many stories of the Jari disciples. And one nice thing about him is some Swamis do not talk. Pavitranandaji also. He does not want to talk too much. But Prabhupada, in the dining table with the nuns, with the monks, he was constantly pouring his reminiscences. That is the reason we find a lot of materials, in the Vedanta News magazine and in other books, you will find Prabhupada's things. I still remember one incident. When I just arrived Hollywood, Swami's Narada's Way of Divine Love is going to be the printer. The Swami said that Chetanananda has come, he was a proprietor, let him give one reading. The Ananda Pranam, Maharaj's secretary, came to me. I said, Maharaj, if I find mistake, actually you will have to correct it. Then Ananda Pranam said, Swami, this is the final edition, now we cannot change too much, please. Then I found many factual mistakes. I told Maharaj, I told you, I only see the mistakes. Maharaj asked Ananda Pranam, please consult with Christopher Isharwaj and correct what Chetananda says, correct. Otherwise the book will go wrong. Anyhow, then also his brother translated that book into Bengali. I edited it and I wrote the foreword also. Anyhow, that is Swami Prabhupada. Then Swami Shatprakashananda. Shatprakashananda was a very unusual monk, very learned. He met Swami Vivekananda in 1901 in Dhaka when he was 12 years old. 12 years old. 3 times he saw Swamiji. And he used to tell many stories about Swamiji and other disciples. About Pavitranandaji, I forgot to tell one incident. That Lillian Montgomery in early, I think 1953-54, came to Vedanta Society of New York and gave his reminiscences to the devotees. And that was recorded on a tape. So once I was visiting New York, I had a desire to see their archive, or what is called their, it was in a closet. I saw all tapes, cassette tapes. I saw the tape, I asked our John Schlenk, John, please make a copy for me. So he made a copy. Then do you know what? That copy became a treasure. I shared with Gargi. Gargi used a lot of things from that reminiscences in her book. Then it was spread everywhere. I used it elaborately in the 150th anniversary of that Vivekananda's volume came from Advaita Ashrama. Lillian Montgomery. It is Swami Pavitranandaji got that wonderful reminiscences. It is a precious thing that we got through Swami Pavitranandaji. Anyhow, Swami Prabhupadanandaji's stories I told. Shatprakashananda. Shatprakashanandaji was met, then he came to America in 1937, first in Providence, and then at that time Swamiji's Ramakrishna temple was under construction and dedication, so Akhilananda was there, and Swami came to substitute him. Then he came to, when he came, he was released. He tried to start a center in Washington, D.C. It did not work out. Then it was in 1937, the dedication ceremony of the Hollywood Temple. All Swamis came, and they were thinking that he was thinking to return to India. Well, why will you go to India? There is no center in the Midwest. Why don't you open a center? So he went from there, came to San Francisco. Then San Francisco, Swami Ashokanandaji announced to the audience, is there anybody? No, that is there anybody in St. Louis? St. Louis in the Midwest, one of the important cities. Somebody said, Swami, my sister lives there. Give her address. And she collected another couple of addresses from Prabhupada subscriber, a few Germans. And he came to St. Louis with $250 in pocket. He went to a hotel. Then he went to an apartment. Then, he really suffered from poverty. Prabhupada in 1930s, big depression in America. He told me, we did not have much food. Amiya, later lady of sandwich, she used to go for private tuition in Beverly Hills and brings money for food. Well, at night time, our dinner was milk and popcorn. Milk and popcorn, that was our dinner. No food, no money. Then, one story I shall tell you from Prabhupada. When the temple was built, he wanted to buy some pews. You saw those pews, that wooden pews? Yeah, so those pews. So what happened in that time, that was a fashion in the church to have pews. So what happened, one lady gave Swami Prabhupada $5,000. My goodness. She went home and told her husband. That husband became so mad. He came and told Swami Prabhupada, you cheated my wife and took away money. Swami Prabhupada said, don't be upset. Here is the check. Please take back. Your wife gave that money. I have no desire. Please take back. That man was so impressed. He went and bought all pews for the Holy Temple. Renunciation works. Renunciation works. So Satprakashanandaji also, to get the house where we are now, no, they will not sell the house to Swami because our skin is dark. So this house was bought in the name of Houston Smith and his wife, Kendra. And then it was transferred to Vedanta Society. We could not buy a house in St. Louis. There is tremendous racial prejudice. You see, it is easy to work in the East Coast and West Coast, not in the Midwest, which is the Bible Belt. So anyhow, Prabhupada Satprakashanandaji, food. At 10 o'clock, he will eat some fruits and some cereal. And one lady, Mrs. McCutcheon, and some other ladies would come and make one meal in the evening. No food. You know, I tell you frankly, we are very lucky that when we came, we got house, we got some devotees, we have some money. But the pioneers, those who came to this country, how much they went through. Oof. Most of the Vedanta centers started in the living rooms of the American devotees. These are all American people. They supported Vedanta. Amazing, you know. Now, Swami Satprakashanananda told me, when he came to St. Louis, only 2 Indians in St. Louis. Now, we have 20,000 or 30, 40,000 Indians in St. Louis. If no, not more, right? The families. But only 2 Indians, myself and another person married a black woman. He told me in 1938, October. And now we have so many Indian devotees, you know, they support us and they feed us and they are very helpful. But not in that time, nobody was here. House was bought and Maharaj struggled. Then he wrote some very beautiful books, and high Vedanta books he wrote. And then Maharaj was bedridden for some years. Then I came to assist him on 1st March 1978. So I am here over 42 years. But you know, I was in Hollywood for 7 years. But here also, Sometimes God plans in a different way. If I would not come to Hollywood, St. Louis, I could not do so much work. In Hollywood, you would see commute. Hollywood, Santa Barbara, Trubuco. Then sometimes we used to go to San Diego also. So I was thinking perhaps 1/4 or 1/3 of my lifetime will be on Freeway 101 and Freeway 5. Then I do not drive. I used to put my pillow at my one back and another pillow on my lap, and I used to translate Avadhuta Gita. Why should I misuse my time? The brothers will to drive. Anyhow, so Swami Chetanananda, I shall remember. I remember when I first came, he gave me the key of the relics. We have the relics of Thakur, Ma, Swamiji, Maharaj, Mahapurush Maharaj, Baburam Maharaj. The 6 people's relics are there in gold boxes that I worship every morning with Ganges water and perfume. Every morning. Those relics I touch on my head and I worship. So anyhow, Maharaj gave this relics and key. How he handed over the charts. Take care of Thakur. And then he showed down the stairs. That is the chapel. Take care of the Thakur's devotees. Teach them Vedanta. These 2 sentences, that is the handover of the center. Take care of Thakur, take care of Thakur's children. That's it. You know, complete withdrew himself from work. Before his death, one day he was telling me, could you tell me the signs of an illumination, how a Jivan Mukta dies? So I collected from the Upanishad, from Brahma Sutra, from Viveka Chudamani. I read to him. He was so pleased. You know, I'm really, they are remarkable sadhus. Well, next I shall tell you about Swami Vivedishanandaji. He was in Seattle in 1973, invited me. I was in Hollywood. Chetananda Thakur's festival. You will have to come and give a lecture. Uncle Maharaj, I can come to give lecture on condition. What is your condition? My condition is you will have to take me to Vancouver. And there I want to see where Swamiji landed. That if you take me, then I shall come and give a lecture. Theek ache. All right, I shall take you to Vancouver. So Maharaj took me to Vancouver. I gave lecture there. And you know, I have a nature to watch sadhus. So early in the morning, he came at 9 o'clock in the shrine. He took breakfast very late. Uncle Maharaj, I cannot have breakfast with you, but I shall eat early, but I shall be with you when you take breakfast. So I saw he was in the shrine. Then at the breakfast table, I said, Maharaj, when you were initiated, could you tell me what kind of instruction you got from your Guru, Swami Brahmananda? 60 years ago. 60 years ago. Well, देखो, Maharaj दीक्षा समय बोलें, देख, पूजा, पाठ, जॉब, ध्यान, ये चारटेই করবি, তাহলে তোর spiritual life monotonous হবে না. Puja, worship, path, reading, japam, and dhyan, meditation. If you practice these 4, then your spiritual life will never be monotonous. I got a great lesson. Brahmananda's teachings to his disciple then came to me, that I shared to you. Then I went to Swami Portland, Swami Chetanananda. Maharaj was very fond of me. Very fond of me. Chetananda, he's a mother's disciple. So I tell you frankly, I met many Swamis in the Ramakrishna order. But I never met such a Swami like Chetananda. If you see him, you will feel that he is possessed. Really, he was possessed. As with Thakur Maharaj Swamiji possessed him. Then he made a rice pudding for me. Then he was asking, Chetananda, how is the rice pudding? Well, Maharaj, very good. It was burnt in the below. Uncle, it is very good. Uncle, here is a mother's disciple, which rice cooking for me, I was so. Then at night time, we used to go for walk. And I say, Maharaj, he used to tell many, many stories about Swami Chetanananda. He was Swami Chetananda's secretary. Anyhow, I shall not tell all those stories, but he was a really remarkable person. Recently, so he came and he gave his reminiscences. We recorded. Now you can say in BGUT. When he would come, he was the senior most, so he used to give sannyas, brahmacharya to the monks and the nuns, So we used to always be together, and he used to tell all of his reminiscences. So that he was a great Swami, no doubt about it. Then one story I shall tell you about Swami Shantaswarupananda, who was in Berkeley Center. Later on, in 1970, he returned to India, when then Swami San Francisco, then Swami Prabhudanandaji came. His one story I heard from Swami Sridharanandaji. One day, Swamiji was passing through a very hard time. Then, do you know what happened? Swamiji went to a post office, an American post office. At that time, there is no machine. You'll have to sort the letters by hand. So Swamiji saw heaps of letters. Swamiji was thinking, how is it possible to sort such a huge amount of letters, huge number of letters? Then he left. Then his curiosity came. He came back to see the post office. The four people are putting that slot, that which street these letters will go. They are dividing. He saw almost it is clear. Then he was thinking, the problem I have, it is momentary. Perhaps all these problems will go away. Shantaswarupanandaji told this incident about Swamiji's. With little incidents are very important to me. For example, the one incident I was talking about, Swami Bodhanandaji. I was in France, in Paris, 1992. And I found a beautiful reminiscences of Swamiji, which he gave to in Madras in 1924. So what happened? He writes, one day Swamiji said, today I shall perform the ritual, worship in the Ramakrishna temple, old shrine at that time. Well, Swamiji went, we were very curious. We wanted to see how Swamiji worships. So we all monks, sat behind Swamiji did the worship. Swamiji, do you know what is Swamiji's worship? Meditation. Mahapurush Maharaj used to say, when he used to meditate, his whole face would be red. And a whole blood stream will go to his head. His eyes, his face, as if full of red. But then, do you know what he did? He got up, and the tray of flowers are there. He put each flower on the head of each of his disciples. Then the remaining flowers he offered to Sri Ramakrishna. Then he explained that why he did it. Generally, uchisto, and the flowers he eaten, that we do not offer to the Lord. So he said, he saw the Ramakrishna dwells in all of his disciples. So the flowers he put in Sri Ramakrishna, in the disciples, living gods, same flowers he put to Sri Ramakrishna on the altar. That incident very, very important to me. Sarvagatanandaji is one incident I must tell you. Sarvagatanandaji wanted to be a monk in Bombay. Went to Swami, he was a disciple of Swami Akhandananda. So Akhandananda said, you want to be a monk? From Bombay, you walk up to the Hardwar, barefooted. Don't carry any money. Barefoot, door to door, and join there. So he followed his guru. It is over 1,000 miles. Oof. He came begging food, and then when he came to Kalyanananda. He was Swamiji's disciple. He was the head of the Concord Center Hospital. So Kalyanananda told him, "Hello, young man, you want to be a monk?" "Yes." "Listen, Mondire, puja, noivedya, prarthana. Correct? In the temple, what do? You do the worship, you offer food to the Lord, and you pray. Or in my hospital, Shiva, Aushatpotto, duto mishti kotha. In this hospital, Shiva, service to these patients, living gods. There you give noivedya, food. Here you give medicine and diet, and duti mishti kotha, and say a few sweet words, sympathetic sweet words to these patients. If you can bring these two things same, then you can join here. To me, that is practical Vedanta. Just practical Vedanta. That, you see, we learn from the sadhus. And then, of course, Swami Chetanananda ji was my mentor. I knew him from 1952. 51, Swami Virajananda ji died. Then he was the editor. And then he came to America, I think 1957. So he was my son. Summer, generally I used to go and stay with him, and we are coming from the same place. So he used to tell me many stories, and 2 diaries of his I published in this book. And one incident I shall tell you. One day he was telling me, behind the center they will find Krishna pond. There are 2 cane chairs are there. So we used to sit there and used to tell, "Hey, Chetanananda, do you like to see power of the mantra?" "What power do you have, Maharaj?" "I shall bring cold wind from San Francisco Bay to Sacramento," nearly 100 miles, you know. Well, how will you? Well, you will see. I will say, "Madhu Brahman, I shall decide. Yam Prithivi Sarvesham Bhutanam Madhu. Asya Prithibhai Sarvesham Bhutanam Madhu." And whatever you see is saturated Madhu, God consciousness, God consciousness. He was fantastic, you know. He went on and on. Then the top of the tree is moving a little bit. "Hey, look, my mantra works." That cold, yeah, Sacramento is very hot. It just means, see, my mantra works. Then there is a club there, just adjacent to our ashrama. So there are some far trees, long, you know, cypress. All cypress trees are there. Well, these trees, do you know what? They are Vedic rishis standing here, protecting the sound of the cloud. He was a poet by nature, you see. Then we are seated on the 2 cane chairs, and he was started to talk. You know, Chetanananda, this morning, an American devotee, woman devotee, came to me and said, "Swami, nobody loves me." Chetanananda, it hurt me. This American woman came and telling me that nobody loves me. Really, it hurts me. Then he was telling, "But you know, let me tell you, I see love is everywhere. Look at that peach tree. Here, the peach tree and some apple tree. Those trees love me. All the year round, they are standing here under the sun, rain, frost. But when season comes, those trees give me fruits. Those trees love me. I see love is everywhere. The tree does not eat its own, the trees do not eat their own fruits. They love us, they give us fruits." Then he went on, he was a poet, you know. "You see, when I get up from my bed, I go to the bathroom. My toothpaste and brush tell me, 'We love you, brush your teeth.' Then the water says, 'Rinse your mouth, I love you.' Then I change my clothes, I go to the shrine. The asana seat tells me, 'I love you, sit down and meditate.' Then I go to the breakfast table. The chair tells me, whole night I'm waiting here. Please sit down and have your breakfast. I love you. Then my fruit juice, toast, cereal, coffee, all tell me, we love you. Please eat and get your energy. See, I see love is everywhere. Then that story inspired me. So I came to St. Louis and I prepared a lecture. Love is everywhere. But actually, do you know what? This behind is there is a Shankar Sutra is there. Sanghato pararthatvat. That is the Shankar philosophy says. Sanghato, all combined objects in this world is for others. Is for others. Your house is not for itself, it is for us. Protecting me from sun, moon, rain, sun, cold, rain, all these things. The computer is not for itself, which is helping me. My book is helping me. My clothes is not for itself, which is protecting me. Everything you find in this world is not for itself, which is for others. Your beauty is not for yourself. We enjoy your beauty. In this way, I gave a beauty. That is one of my favorite lectures. Love is everywhere. So anyhow, 5:30 is over. You turn it off.
Maharaj, we started a little late. Can you share? We started a little late. You can share a few more stories.
One story I tell you. Swami Chetanananda. He was very close to AIM. Young man, he went to AIM and asked, I don't feel that Sri Ramakrishna is God. Then AIM said, my goodness, Shatkanda Raman Pure, now you are telling Shitakar Pishi, Mashi. After reading the whole Ramayana, you are telling that Sita, whose aunt is Sita. Then AIM said, do you know what? I had the same problem. One day, I went to Dakshineshwar. Master was resting after lunch. I was caressing his feet. And I was thinking, here is a person, he eats, he sleeps, he walks, he moves. He's an ordinary human being. AIM was thinking. All of a sudden, Thakur got up from his bed. Hey, master, ki bhabcho, ki bhabcho. Eke bhable shab hobe, eke bhable shab hobe, eke bhable shab hobe. Hey, AIM, what are you thinking? If you think of me, everything, you will achieve everything. You will achieve everything 3 times. He said, then he was telling, Mother, did I say it or you say it? Did I say it or you said it? He was talking with the Divine Mother. Then, boom, he went into Samadhi. But at that day, I realized that Master was God. And it was 1936, during Thakur centenary time, there was a Pundit in Banaras, Bhagavat Bhushan guy, I forgot the name. He told the mystery of Ramakrishna name. In my book, that's which is called the How to Live with God in the Company of Ramakrishna. In the very beginning, I put this story that various forms of Ramakrishna, Bahurupi Ramakrishna, how many ways Thakur appeared before the people. So what happened? He says Rama. When Rama was born, Vashishta, though many of you repeat Ramakrishna mantra, it is good for you to know the value, the meaning, deep meaning of the word. When Rama was born, Vashishta, Dasharatha came to Vashishta and said, hey Rishi, what? Please give a name to my son. Well, the name of your son is Rama. Well, there are so many names. Why did you select this name? Well, let me tell you why. The famous Vishnu mantra is Om Namo Narayanaya. That is the Vishnu mantra. If you take Ra from this mantra, what remains? Om Namo Nayo Nayo. Do you know what does it mean? Ru Prasadike Namaskar. Salutation to the sensual objects of the world. Instead of God, it just becomes the reverse. That is Ra. And Ma, what is the famous Shiva mantra? Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. If you take Ma from that mantra, what remains? Om Namah Shivaya. Everything is inauspicious, everything is bad. So I took the essence of Vishnu mantra and I took the essence of Shiva mantra and gave the name to your son, Rama. Beautiful. And what is Krishna? Krishna, there are two ways you can interpret. Korshati. Korshati means korshan kara, plow, break. That means it breaks the Maya. Her Korshati means akurshati. It attracts the hearts of the devotees. So, Rama and Krishna, these two avatars, combined, came in this time. Jai Ram, Jai Krishna, Shaidaning Ram Krishna. He who was Rama, he was Krishna. Verily in this Paji is Ramakrishna. I sometimes tell this story just to those who repeat Thakur's name, they can get a good feeling, the mantra of what Thakur is. Anyhow, that book is See God with Open Eyes and How to Live with God in the Company of Ramakrishna. Those two books are the research work. My whole life's research work there. Really, so many things you will get. Anyhow, that is the. And another was I tell you, when I came to join, I went to Swami Gombiranandaji. You know, Sarvadevananda, Priyananda, I still remember. He was translating Reminiscences of Swami Vivekananda from Bengali into English. And he was translating the section of Haripada Mitra. And he has tremendous stomach pain. And it was, at that time we were in Wellington Land, Port Wellington Land, in opposite to Vedanta's house. Placing the hot water bag in his stomach, he was working. So first Swami Advayanandaji came and said, Maharaj, you take rest. Go, don't disturb me. Then I went. Maharaj, you are not well. You should take a little rest. Then he told me, if I lie down on bed, do you think my pain will go away? Can you give me guarantee? No guarantee, Maharaj, but you are not well. Then he told me something that penetrated me. You know, when I work for Swamiji, I forget my body idea. I cannot tell you, that became a great lesson for me. Thakur's work. That is my only soft corner. This time when I was in training center, they asked me to give a law talk. I told the boys, listen, brothers, if you work, you will die. And if you do not work, you will die. Better work for Thakur, Man, Swamiji. Then your body, your mind, your senses will be blessed. And then I told, all human beings, do you know what do they want? Janma Safallam, fulfillment in life. Everybody, fulfillment in life. That Krishna mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Itabat janma safallam dehi rami adehishu pranui arthai dhiya vacha shreya evam acharet sada. That Krishna said. Itabat janma safallam dehi nam dehi adehishu. And human birth becomes fulfilled. How? Pranui, through energy, your heart. Arthoi, through money. Dhiya, intellect. Vacha, through speech. All these four things, if you divert to do good to humanity, your life will be fulfilled. You will attain fulfillment in life. Pranoi, Arthoi, Dhiya, Vacha, Shreya, opposite Shreya, opposite reason. I sometimes in my lecture, I said, do you know what? After studying Swamiji, all these things, what I learned, I was very sick. Coming from Kansas City to St. Louis by American Airlines, I sat at the back. So one air hostess came to me and says, "Why are you back? You could sit in front." I go, "No, I don't feel good today." So that girl became very curious about me. She came and sat next to me and wanted to know about me. Then I told that I am a monk. Then when I was leaving, she stopped me. "Give me a word of wisdom before you leave." Okay, really you want word of wisdom? Yes. Love and serve. That is enough for you. That I learned from Swamiji. Love people, serve people. That way we can find fulfillment in life. That will destroy our ego. That will destroy our selfishness. Swamiji says selfishness is sin. Unselfishness is God. In Karma Yoga, that is the way Swamiji defined God. Unselfishness is God. That is exact words of Swamiji. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj. We offer our pranams to you. I would like to invite Diane, President of the Vedanta Society of New York, to offer words in conclusion. Diane.
Swamiji, thank you. Our most profound and deep thanks, as always, to you. These wonderful reminiscences and insights, it's just so precious. And seeing you looking so well is wonderful also. And we look forward to seeing you in person next year.
Oh, let us see.
Maharaj, a pranam from all of us here. And
Namaskar.
thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much. Maharaj, pranam, Maharaj.
Namaskar.